He was breaking that shit down, and he said, it's the lies that cover your mind from the truth. Man, I got up off this motherfucker. I said, whoa! So exactly what the fuck I've been thinking. Nigga, I never seen this movie before, ever. That nigga said, the Matrix is everything you see around you. It's the lies that cover your thoughts from the truth. Let you know you are a slave in here. How do you get the fuck out of here? You got to use the tools to get the fuck out of this matrix. They're there. How the fuck do you get out of this motherfucker? How the fuck do you get out of there? So when we deal with religion, right? There was a part in the movie. I don't know if you want to know it now.
Yeah.
So there's a part in the movie where I'm watching this shit, right? And I'm watching Neo. Go the fuck in. This nigga, I don't know if this was after the Oracle or whatever, but I'm watching this motherfucker believe in the God within him. And that nigga got to fight. He didn't wait for no shit outside of him to come save him. Religion. That was religion. He didn't wait for no nigga outside of him to come help him, to save him. That motherfucker used common sense, logic, reasoning. He was fighting.
Yeah.
He didn't wait for no savior. Religion. This is what the movie was showing us. Don't wait for no fucking savior. Believe in the God within you. Believe in your fucking self. You change your conditions.
Yeah.
He could have stood there. He said, hey, is anybody gonna come save me? God daddy! Whatever you want to call that motherfucker. Is anybody gonna come save me? I have faith. I believe you. Right? In real life, in this matrix, you don't sit and wait for no fucking savior. You make shit happen. Same shit he did in that movie. Got busy. Uses common sense. This nigga's fighting. He's using common sense. He's using logic. This nigga's problem solving skills. This nigga's common sense. He's using everything that's attached to his fucking brain to better his situation, to give himself another chance. Yeah. Right? Why would a God give you a fucking brain for you not to use it? So this is what your higher self is saying. I see you. Yeah, I'm going to throw this problem down there. Let me see what you do with it. You let the pastor just give you that feel-good drug, huh? I see you. I'll try this again. Let me throw another shit your way. Let me see what tool you use here. I'll tell you some flash shit. Let me see how you ain't going to question that shit, huh? All right. Carry on. It's what your higher self is saying. Come on. You're not going to use it. Right there. Problem solve. Pull problem solve out. No, right there. Right there. Common sense. Common sense. Run. Common sense. Run. Swim. Common sense. Fill out an application.
Yeah.
Don't just wait. No, common sense. If you have to pray and still do the work. Common sense. You can get rid of the prayer if you still got to do the work. Common sense. If faith doesn't work, unless you do the work, you can get rid of faith and just do the work if you're still going to make it happen. Come on now. Come on. I gave you the tools. This is what your higher self is saying in this matrix. Come on now. I want you to get out this level of this shit. I want to take you somewhere better. I want to slide you into the next one. You're a good person. You're a good person. Great person in humanity. Great, helping humanity, but you're living dumb. And you don't have to. You can get out of that matrix. What you gonna do? Come on now. Your higher self, the God in you, is watching you every day. You can get out this matrix if you want to. I feel like this is why I don't fear death no more. I feel like our higher self is looking down at us like, okay, you done woke up to understand this shit's not real, right? You know you can leave that motherfucker anytime you get ready, right? You don't have to be down there, right? This is what our higher self is telling us. That shit's not real. It ain't real down there. And you know this shit. But you haven't gotten over the fear of leaving what you think is your family down there. Shit's not real. They don't exist. It's the Matrix, nigga. But you haven't mastered that shit. All right. All right. You know you can leave that motherfucker at any point. That's what I feel like our higher self is saying. You know the shit. You're still, you know, so when Neo ran and he looked down and he fell, that's us right now. You know the shit, right? Leave that motherfucker. Your higher self is like, leave that motherfucker. Why are you there? Don't think about it. Do it, nigga. Don't think, do it. You know why you can't do it? Because you look down when you jumped off that building. You know why you can't hit me? Because you're not thinking. You're not fucking thinking. This is what I was getting from this movie. These are some of the things I was getting from this movie. You're not fucking thinking. Don't think. Don't think you can. No, you can. No, you can. Right? No. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Mm-hmm. Don't tell me who you think you are. Tell me who you are. There's a lot of shit out here. Right in your face. Right in your face. What you think about it? Did you just let people tell you anything? Or do you question the shit? Why? Why don't you question the shit? You have a brain to ask questions. You're not going to look at that book and you're not going to start to ask yourself, all right, does this sound like a God saying this shit? Or does this sound like a human saying this shit to control the masses? Does it sound like a God making these mistakes in this book? Or would this probably be humans writing this shit, making these mistakes? If you're going to tell me this God is all-knowing and this God is perfect, I just can't believe this God is making mistakes like this.
Can't question him, though.
Why wouldn't I be able to question you?
That's what you're talking.
Sound like some shit a human would tell me to manipulate me. Slaves, obey your earthly masters. Does that sound like an all-loving God saying this? Or does this sound like some human who's looking to control the masses telling me this shit? Tell me, how is that inspiring? How does that inspire me to know that this God is okay with people owning other humans as property? Sounds like a fucking human to somebody like me who's disconnected from religion, who's disconnected and who's not just swallowing the blue pill, the pretty lie. I look at the ugly truth. I've even faced the ugly truth. That truth don't always come pretty. People are afraid to face the pretty lie. You have to ask yourself, at what point does this not become some type of mental illness? You tell me that you talk to some God in your head, which means you're talking to some voice. But see, you don't believe this is your higher consciousness. You think this is actually some shit outside of you. Something called a God, or a Jesus, or a Muhammad, or a Jehovah. Yeah, some shit that was created by a human. Yeah. You think this is who you're talking to in your head, but you cannot explain to me how you are not on the psych ward of some hospital in a padded room or getting a check every month for talking to these voices in your fucking head. When there's other people who talk to fucking voices in their head and they're in a padded room somewhere with a straitjacket on, getting a fucking check somewhere. What's the difference between you and them? They can't prove who they're talking to, and you can't prove that you're talking to some guy in some grown-up fairy tale book. At what point does this not become a mental illness as an adult, a full-thinking adult? At what point does this not become insanity? How long you gonna keep praying? How long you gonna keep praying and not seeing nothing change? Nobody can tell me collectively around this world how prayer has bettered the world. Nobody asks these questions. Nobody asks these questions. See, I ask these type questions. I'm here to ask these type questions. I'm here to wake people up. See, people, let me tell you the people who will get mad at me and call me disrespectful and say I'm pushing my belief, but it's never them pushing their belief when they stand on street corners, when they got 1,000,001, when you knock on doors, when they got 1,000,000 TV shows, when they want to stop you in parking lots. It's never them pushing their belief. It's never them pushing their belief. It's only when I stand up and I challenge their belief. Their belief. Belief. A statement or something that you accept to be true is the definition of a belief. Does not mean it's true or it's a fact because you believe it. Yeah, so that's kind of how I walked into watching The Matrix now, because I didn't want to watch the movie on purpose because I felt like there was going to be things I was going to miss. But as I watched the movie, there was a lot of things that I had already been thinking long time that was in this movie. And one thing I noticed when I say there's levels to these Matrix, I mean, there's like 4 different Matrix out, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's levels, right? I'm sure they're dealing with different levels. I've never seen any of them. I've never seen any of them. So I don't know, but that's why I'm telling you. I think, nigga, there's different levels of this matrix, these matrices. I don't think there's just one matrix. You're going to go through another one. I think we slip into different ones as we grow in knowledge or as we walk in our purpose. Or, nigga, you might slip into a different matrix when your higher self say, okay, I'm done with you. Let's go. You're finna pay for this. Judgment Day with your God. With your God within. Judgment Day. You're going to face your God. And your God is going to either elevate you or send your ass to hell. Maybe the people we see suffering are here for eternity. Maybe this is hell for them. You know how some people say, we're living in hell on earth, but hell ain't for everybody on earth. Yes, do I think it's some bad shit here? Yes. But I don't think it's hell, nigga. Not as hell is described.
No.
But living to have to suffer in pain, and I mean, there's stories of children who were raped their whole lives, and maybe they were fucked up people. It may sound bad to say. It may sound bad to fucking say. But maybe they were fucked up energies in a past matrix. And they have to come through here and pay for that. Because they didn't either try to clean their shit up, or they have to pay for that before they can slide into the next matrix. However much harm they caused back then, maybe what they have to face in the next matrix before I give you another chance. I don't know. Or maybe you just was a fucked up person who was given chance after chance. And you're going to fucking stay right where you're at for eternity. Because you chose, you had free will, right? Free will.
Yeah.
I birthed you into a matrix where you knew nothing but good and evil. I birthed you into a matrix of balance. Not once, not twice, maybe even 3 times. I don't know how much your higher self gave, how many higher self, gave you how many chances. But you were given chances and you chose to keep doing nothing. No more chances. At some point, you're not going to keep playing me as God. Like I won't make you fucking pay for this shit eternally. Maybe that's when God turns you over to your lower self, aka the devil. In the matrix. Maybe that's when God, Judgment Day, sends you down to your lower self and your lower self. Now you're in hell, aka the devil.
Man, that makes sense.
AKA the devil. We have a higher self, we have a lower self. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's when God says, your higher self says, what you think, lower self? I'm going to send him on down. He refuses, she refuses. I'm going to send her on down. And you have to come through this matrix and we watch a fucked up ass energy suffer. That's what we see. That's what we see in Starving Kids. That's what we see when bad shit is happening. But don't get me wrong. Some bad shit we see happening is for us to grow though. Like it's a matrix. It's not real. It's not real. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some shit we see, some shit we encounter is not real. It's not real. But some shit we see is people actually suffering for shit they did in their past. Matrix shit. Because we have to grow and learn. Yeah, so we have to see some shit. You know what I'm saying? We have to see obstacles. We have to see situations. That don't mean the situations are actually situations. It's just part of the matrix. Like when they're fighting and shit in the movie. Like, this is my thoughts. Now we about to watch this movie and see what we pick up on.